should you trust Ledger with your crypto? In this quick video, I'm going to be going over my thoughts on the May 2023 Ledger PR meltdown. I've been a Ledger user for years. I have multiple Nano X's. I'm going to start by saying this video is not sponsored in any way by Ledger. I just quite like their products, and I wanted to add my thoughts to what occurred in May 2023. Back in May, someone was looking through the changelog for a Ledger firmware update and discovered that there was going to be a potential way to exfiltrate private keys off the device, but it was going to be something that needed to be elected by the user and wasn't a default option. Now, I really saw this as just straight a messaging problem from Ledger's perspective, in that if they were going to put this into the change logs, they totally should have run ahead of that and said, hey, we're going to offer this new feature. It's opt-in, not opt-out, so it's not a default, and you can choose to not engage with this part of the firmware, but it's going to be rolled into this next firmware revision. This gets into one of the core tenets of crypto, is that in a trustless system, you still need to trust something. There's probably only a handful of people in the world, probably less than 10, that can build their entire crypto stack out themselves. So if you're going to engage with whatever wallet or whatever you're going to use, you're going to have to trust something. So I choose to trust Ledger when they put their firmware out, because when it comes down to it, their entire business is predicated on there not being a private key exploit going down. Like, that's the business would evaporate overnight if there was some sort of core problem found. So Ledger, you trust Ledger to put the private keys on the device and to never leave the device. With a Ledger, it's resistant to supply chain attacks because they have a proprietary secure enclave inside of it where the private key is stored. With other crypto wallets, and there's a whole bunch now, the main competitor for a while there was Trezor, which didn't protect from supply chain attacks because it's open source. Now there's some new models coming out which have some supply chain attack prevention mechanisms, but with that you have to trust the supply chain's good. So if you have the entire bill of materials out in the open, someone could attempt to tamper with that device while it's in transit to you, and if you put a pre-existing private key on there, that thing could now be exposed and you could get that crypto taken. Now this would only really affect someone that has lots of crypto. So if you're just getting started, this is like a very low potential thing, but these are choices, and I think the thing happening in May really brought to the forefront that users need to understand what they're signing up for. Because I really just saw this as a messaging problem from Ledger's perspective, and I don't trust Ledger any less. I think my core thing with using their products is that their entire business is built on not letting the keys go. So if the keys get let go, it's going to go away now. Are you a Ledger user? Or who do you trust with your crypto? I'd be very intrigued to know in the comments below. And while you're at it, if you could smash that like button and help push this out to some more people, I'd really appreciate it. Ledger is what I use mostly for my colder storage things or larger sums of crypto. But in terms of hot wallets, good old faithful MetaMask. And then, let's see, for Solana, I like Phantom Wallet, Tezos. I haven't used for a while, but I think Temple Wallet. These are browser extensions, so they're all hot wallets. I wouldn't trust them with massive sums, but they're all pretty comparable in terms of features. So MetaMask has come pretty far. It was a bit clunky when I first got into it, but it's quite nice and integrates with hardware wallets natively. So I can have the security of my Ledger with the cross-platform use of MetaMask, which is my preferred way to interact with Ethereum-based networks these days. Again, would love to hear what you're using in the comments below. I love to hear what everyone uses, because I'm always curious. So are you going to still trust Ledger with your crypto? I know I currently do, and I'd be very intrigued to hear your thoughts.